So this era, human era, I'm kind of say this without like sounding, say it in a way that the old YouTube guys and the Facebook guys won't ban me. Let's say this. In today's age, you are expected to basically accept anything it is about every single person. And you have to honor what it is that they say that they want to be. Let's say that. I think the main topic that this more so pertains to is gender, right? You got pronoun brigaders. You have the idea of obviously transgenderism, all of that. But this is something that's hilarious to me because there's a story here that we're going to talk about right here. And you can see at the title I'm reading from Sarah wrote this over at Blaze. White influencer under fire for identifying as Korean. Blast woke mob for hypocrisy. If you can be transsexual, you can be transracial. Where's the lie? Let me look at me real quick. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? It may make y'all uncomfortable. One has become obviously more acceptable than the other, but where's the lie? Perfectly consistent. And thing about it is for example, I've interviewed Rachel Dolezal. For those of you that don't know who she is, she was a person that was the head of, was it Spokane? Was it Washington? I can't remember. But head of an NAACP, and she's white. I actually interviewed her myself over at Being Liberty TV. You can go watch that over at the YouTube. That is still up. But basically, this influencer who is really, really tuned into the Korean culture decides that they're going to just up and become Korean. See what Sarah had to say about it. British influencer Ali London is taking heat after publicly identifying as Korean. The announcement comes after the influencer has said to pay more than $150,000 for cosmetic surgery to look like Park Ji-min of wildly popular South Korean K-pop band BTS. London is facing heavy backlash for identifying as Korean. And this is according to Insider. On June 18th, London tweeted an image of a rainbow imaging of the South Korean flag, saying that it was their new official flag for being non-binary person who identifies as Korean. Insider's Palmer Haish wrote they also said that they use they and them pronouns as well. So not only is this person now Korean, they're no non-binary Korean. London tweeted, "This is my new official flag for being a non-binary person who identifies as Korean. Thank you for the overwhelming support. It is so hard for me to come out as them, they, core Ian." London later added, "So sad many comments are being homophobic and non-binary phobic. That is actually the official LGBTQI plus flag of South Korea. Google it. Anyone that puts a negative comment is anti-LGBT and anti-equality. So sad in 2021, people will judge others and how they identify." Now, I'm not that familiar with this Ali London. He may be just a troll, but if they went through with the cosmetic surgery, maybe he's a little more than that. On Friday, London continued to address backlash, tweeting, "If you can be transsexual, you can be transracial." The logic is sound, guys. Say what you will. Why are there such double standards and hypocrisy with people criticizing me for being Korean? It's the same as someone who was born in the wrong body and wants to be a man or woman. Where's the lie? Where is the lie? Where's the lie? I was born in the wrong body. Now, again, I don't know if this is some elaborate troll. It doesn't seem to be. But either way, the logic is sound, dudes. You can say what you will. And I know that this is, and I brought this point up in a video like a long time ago. I think it was actually around the Rachel Dolezal situation and Shaun King, these white people pretending to be black. And though I think it's goofy, I'll be the first to say that. And I do think you're a goofball if that's what it is that you're doing. But if we are going to be of consistency, we have to say that, hey, the man's got a point. Oh, excuse me, not the man. They have a point. Now, it may sound ridiculous, but then the same thing can be said about at some point people thinking that, okay, you could be a different gender or up and change it is weird. But not anymore, not at least in the West. Now, maybe some spots in the Middle East, but not in the West. It's been accepted, and obviously you are the criminal in the event that you, let's say, misidentify someone, do not properly use their pronouns. If you're denying their existence as terms that people use. But the logic in what he said, the logic or what he's doing is absolutely sound. There, you cannot be in opposition to one without being in the opposition of the other, or rather, you cannot support one while acting as if the other is somehow delegitimate. If you can be a transgender person, you can absolutely be transracial. It is the same thing. Just one obviously applies to more racial makeup, and the other applies to a gender. If one can be fluid, the other one can. If you can up and change it through cosmetic surgery, the other one can too. Say what you will. The logic is sound, man. And look, will some people be like, well, yeah, okay, now it's getting ridiculous. Some people would argue it's been ridiculous. But logic sound. It may be illogical that you could just up and change, and it is what it is. How you feel about that? I don't even care to argue that right now. All I'm saying is, if you can accept it for gender, to say that it can't exist with race is nonsense. You're being it's less about hypocrisy. I think more of inconsistency, which effectively can be the same thing. But Ollie London has a point. Now, again, I think it's goofy. Don't get me wrong. There are other people that are going to think this is goofy along with the other stuff. But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. So you cannot be consistent here and be in opposition of this while also supporting it on the gender side. You would just have to be being inconsistent. Simple as that. Sound logic. If you can change your gender like that, you can absolutely change your race. It's the same thing. So this is going to be an interesting story to follow, because I wonder if we're going to have more people coming out as transracial. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.